Deb. Thank you for putting this together again. Another just phenomenal and amazing lineup. And what happens here changes the world. That's my new tagline on everything that I'm doing. What happens here changes the world. So thank you for having me. And just a little bit about myself. I got to move some frames so I can see who I am. I'm Felicia Reed. I was born in Washington, D.C. in 1962, and I put the year in there so that people can understand that I have seen a lot, especially in the nation's capital. I'm also a survivor of every form of abuse, especially cyber and gang stalking. I'm an advocate, a speaker. I win awards as an artist. I'm a mom, I'm a natural healer, I'm a TV host, and I'm also a quality management professional. And my life mission statement is real simple. It's just to help in any way I can, any way possible, and also for me to keep healing and keep going. So that's my mission, vision, and value statement. And my topic that either I was assigned or signed up for, I don't know how I got it, but it just came to me. How can leaders support social change? It's very important that leaders step up. So as I said, this is an open dialogue because we all have different experiences with leadership. And we need to, make sure that we're all helping. And I am proposing that we replace leader with influencer. I think we should do away with the term leader and just, be an influencer. So let's see if I can make that happen here today with this group. So how do we really see leaders, and how have we been programmed and conditioned to view people as leaders? And some of the ways I came up with are that they are the majority, they're usually male, they're rich or have financial resources, and I use loose terms, so whatever your definition is, please substitute. They have been seemingly highly educated, and I say seemingly, very serious. They're socially connected, highly respected and regarded. Everyone loves a leader. They are supposedly experts in everything, but there's no such thing as an expert, really. They appear as perfect and they are respected. That's what makes them a leader, is that they have this aura of all of those things about them. That's the traditional view. That's what we've been conditioned to believe a leader should look like. However, in 2021 and beyond, I think the leaders or the influencers, I should have said, are changing. Of course they are. The leaders are now minority. They may not be so popular because they're transparent, like myself. I'm totally open, and it's not well received in some instances. They've greatly suffered. It was a belief that if you've suffered, you can't lead because you couldn't lead yourself, therefore you suffered. So we're changing that stereotype. They're male, female, of all beliefs, practices, backgrounds, and anything. Being a human, any human being can be a leader. The new leaders are not rich because they've shared or exhausted resources in trying to help, and they're willing to risk. They're willing to take risk, not stand back and point fingers and say it's somebody else's responsibility. They may not have letters or lots of formal education, but have incredible life skills. And we can, connotate that with buildings that are on fire and someone jumps in and saves a life, or car crashes. And definitely kudos to our first responders who, I think they are just the ultimate influencers and leaders right now. They've never heard of Brooks Brothers. I don't know how many of you know Brooks Brothers, but it's a haberdashery, a male haberdashery in the Washington, D.C. area, where all the politicians and those who are higher up go to get shirts, ties, and suits. So if you don't have if you didn't have a Brooks Brothers suit in DC, you weren't a leader, you weren't a mover and shaker. And so the new leadership, the new influencers, they don't know anything about Brooks Brothers. They know Levi's or Gap or Old Navy or whatever. And the new leadership is assigned by a life purpose. We're really believing that more leaders are coming into their essence and elements simply because they have been deemed that's your life purpose in leading, and they're imperfect. They're imperfectly or perfectly flawed, and we need to accept that the leadership is changing. So here's a look at the Brooks brothers. That was then, all nice and tight and pretty, and the white shirts, and probably got some silk knots going on, and that presence that walks in the room and instantly commands the label of a leader. Well, I'm here to tell you that things have changed drastically in just the last year, and this is what we're looking like as leaders. We are looking like superheroes and females that adorn capes, and the abilities coming out, and we've got a rainbow of individuals that we are embracing as leadership, and we're accepting more natural hair and different different displays of clothing, and wrinkles are in. No one's ironing these days because most people are working remote. So we are breaking down barriers and unconditioning to our beliefs as for what a leader should look like. So Brooks Brothers was in, but now diversity and beautiful people are in. The responsibility of a new leader, this new influencer program that we're going to be under for forever. I do believe that we will not return to what we were taught to believe to be leadership. I think that the responsibility of the new leaders will have to, they'll have to condition to care. They will have to have emotions and feelings, and not be like, well, I'm the president of the company, or I'm the leader of this or that, so therefore I cannot feel. The new influencers are going to have feelings. They're going to work on self to reduce their ego, and they'll be more effective. They're going to share. They're going to be the ones giving you half of their peanut butter jelly sandwiches now, because they understand, what it's like to stand in a line as a result of a pandemic and accept food. They saw the pictures, they know their friends, and they have firsthand information. They're also going to use education and wisdom to support others. It's no more holding back. If they have the Harvard degree or whatever, they're going to use it. They're going to, they're going to just say, I got it for a reason. And they're going to understand that leadership is not a privilege, it's a responsibility. So we all have the responsibility to be in our leader element or influencer element. They are going to teach rather than receive. And if you notice, I'm prefacing my my sayings with "they are," because I'm conditioning the new leaders and the new influencers to say, this is what you're going to do to be a leader or influencer in 2021 and beyond. We're getting started here. They're going to teach rather than receive. There are leaders who know every trick in the book to excel. They will tell you to go do something and watch you suffer, knowing that they know, and they won't help you. So the new influencers are going to teach rather than wait to receive. They're going to seek therapy. Chris mentioned in her presentation that if you are, in certain roles and capacities, you're going to have to, stop judging and looking down on others. And you're probably going to have to get in your own therapeutic treatments and plans and support systems. The new leaders and influencers are going to grow the next new leaders. It seems like in society right now that there is a little gap in that next level of leadership and influencer. And we're going to fix that. We're going to work on making sure that from here on out, there are no more gaps, and that the next generations are groomed as leaders or influencers. They're going to include others. No more secret meetings in the boardrooms. No more, you can't participate. No more, this is not for you. Things are going to be wide open, more transparent, and available to others. They're going to remove the title and the salary stigma that they have to be at a certain level or certain salary capacity in order to be an influencer or leader. All we have to do is be willing. It doesn't require a title. And they're going to get involved in real world opportunities. I'm expecting to see those who have the ability, which is all of us, to get involved in world opportunities that are appearing as issues. There are no issues, there are only opportunities. So the new leaders have a heavy lift, but I'm pretty sure that they're very capable of getting the job done. And there's more. There's so much more to being a new leader and a new influencer today because of the condition that the world is in, the global condition. They're going to speak up for others. It's no more hands off. I don't want to be involved in that. It's not, it's not my business. They're going to speak up. They're going to take sides with diplomacy. They're going to embrace diversity. You're going to see leaders walking around in mismatching clothing and different hairstyles, like I said, and they're going to embrace that. They're going to break out and let their true creativity come through. They're going to implement real change. They're going to create solutions rather than having a team that says, go do this for me or go do that. So less dictatorship. They're going to mentor and align to people who they would not normally align to. They're going to reach back into the fires and pull people out. The new leadership will have a zero tolerance for exclusion. And once again, I love Chris's presentation before mine because it just opened up the gate for me to jump through here and piggyback on some of the things that she was saying. The new leaders are not going to be pretty because of a title. You don't have a certain look because you're a leader or an influencer. We got to stop being pretty. And I'm looking at females in particular that, are working to overcome that a male counterpart has to look a certain way. For me right now, if you don't have dirt under your fingernails and you don't have some kind of paint or something, that you've been working on with your hands, or you've been out there, you've been, building and creating and doing, I'm kind of looking at you kind of strange right now, just because of where we are as a society. Leaders are going to do random outreach. You're going to see, like our current administration in the DC area, showing up at different random events and outreach efforts. And they're going to invest in others. Not everyone left from the same gate. Yeah, we came through the same portal, but not everyone left from the same gate. And we have to be honest with that. And it's time for the leadership and influencers to realize that there are people who, may have had or not had the same opportunities. And we want to level the Can you hear me? Okay. We want to level the playing fields so that, everyone is given an opportunity to be someone or to do what they may have in them to do. So the responsibilities go on and on. The responsibilities are really how the leaders can make a difference today. Where do we start? Right here, right now. It starts within each of us. And the speaker before me, Chris, she said the same thing, and I loved it. I was goosebumps because it starts within each of us. And anyone, if you have a skill, talent, experience, wisdom, a know-how, a gift, if you got a download or any solution-oriented element, we need you. We need you as an influencer and a leader. It doesn't matter who you are, what you have been through, or what you don't have. We need everyone to become a leader and an influencer in their homes and in their own lives. And it will start to create a vibration and an energetic shift in all of civilization so that we can all walk this path together and better. when do we get started? So we're going to get started right now. And I know everybody's got their mics muted, but I am hereby declaring you a leader with a social obligation to now lead. So you can repeat this after me with your mics off, and you are hereby, like I said, deemed as a human being socially responsible for making a difference. Okay. So please repeat after me. I am a leader. I have a purpose to fulfill. I must lead humanity doing what I can with what I have. So you are hereby a leader as of today, regardless of any social standing or any barriers that have been put before you before. You are now a leader because I said so. Our leaders need to get out there and make a difference. Some of the ways they can do that are to get in some think tanks. You know, that's a catchy term we hear, especially in my area. They need freshies. They need fresh blood and fresh energy. And we need to just walk up in there and break up their traditions and bring in new ideas and innovation. And leaders need to participate in the call for the removal of glass ceilings. It's going to take influencers and leadership to start that demolition of glass ceilings, not just for females. Don't break the glass ceilings down for females, break them down for every single human being. They will need to engage in or even start up advocacy groups. Some so-called leaders and influencers, they have incredible background knowledge and information and training that they've just been using in their settings. And we need those leaders and influencers to get out in advocacy groups, get out in universities, get out of schools, go in places where we have been traditionally denied, and stay there to help with change. Don't leave because you're uncomfortable. Don't leave because you're the only minority or the only female or the only Black or the only Asian. Don't leave. Stay there. Do your leadership role, because I just deemed you a leader. And where there are needs, we need to fill them as influencers and leaders. We need to fill them with our creativity, our innovation, and our willingness for change. We have to do our purpose, and our purpose is to lead, because I just deemed everyone as a leader. And, you know, join women's groups as a male and vice versa. Break the barriers down, get up in there. Those golf courses that only have male golfers, forget that. Take your clubs and play on their course and say you are there to stay, because we no longer can accept being left out in any capacity as a leader. I'm here to lead change in a new way in 2021 and beyond. Oh, that's a duplicate, sorry. And that's what I had. Hopefully everyone's inspired to be a leader, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Like I said, I'm always a little bit lighter and interactive, so I welcome the discussion around new leadership and what it looks like in 2021.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much. And we've got 9 minutes to go to be interactive. Perfect. Just like you wanted. So
perfect.
You know, let's try this. We don't have that many people. If you have something to say, just unmic yourself. If you could try to frame your question in your mind first, so that it's like a 15-second question, and that way we get more discussion in. But jump in there with anything that you have. It so fits in with the discussions we've had. Anne looks like she has a question.
Hi, Anne.
Hi. You mentioned in one of your slides that leaders have to basically check their egos. How can you get young people to be about the mission and the vision and not so much about themselves?
Yes, that's a great question. And you know, it starts at home. I'm a parent. My son is 22, and I feel that it's my obligation to guide him and teach him when his ego may be appearing, and to give him examples and coach him So, it takes partnering, it takes examples. A lot of people operate from a level of ego and they don't know it because they haven't been taught. So it is up to us, you and me, Anne, who are aware of how the ego works to say, get that ego out of here, remove it. You're just like everyone else as a human being, even though we are all individuals. Don't operate from a point of ego, and it comes in learning how not to, usually from others' wisdom.
I saw Dulce had her hand up.
Yeah, I did. I just wanted to.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to reflect how really nice Chris' presentation just aligned with your presentation. I think for a lot of us, when we think about leadership and the way that you just really shared how it's taking different dimensions. And I think when we are empowered, we feel that we can't take that leadership. That's for someone else that looks like something else, that has a different journey, that has a different story. So I just want to really thank you. And I think that's where it starts, when we educate the youth how to validate and celebrate their journey and their strengths. And how do we elevate that into a influencer? I love that term.
Influencer.
Right? Because leaders, growing up, we didn't look like the leaders that were leading. And we continue not to look like the leaders that are leading. We're getting there, that transformation. So just to empower others by your voice, I think is so powerful. And I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you. It was perfect. Dr. Deb lined up something great. It usually happens, when I step in. This is like the third year where I've had that perfectly divine segue in. So I appreciate that. And I was just like floored when I heard the words, and I'm like, that's exactly what I'm going to nail. That's exactly what I'm going to nail. So
you always do an incredible job, and I just always love seeing you, because you always are such a warm little light. And just much love.
Anybody on the East Coast here? Because I'm on the East Coast. Anybody? I'm the only one. Woo-hoo. Yeah, I'm like 30. Oh, Paul. Oh, okay. So I'm 30 minutes outside of DC, and we got lots of stuff going on. And I'm sitting right in where it's all happening. And like I said, I tell people I was born in DC in 1962. I saw the army tanks from MLK and the riots, and I saw huge discrimination. I've seen the Klan marching. I've seen everything that has happened in DC since 1962. I'll just put it like that. So I have a lot of wisdom and information. I worked one block from the White House, where you could walk up to the White House. Literally, walk up to the building and the State Department. And what has been happening lately, it's not good for us. Even though we're breaking down some fences right now, I think some came down, but hopefully things will get better and civilization will come more into embracing humanitarian efforts and not this fight mode. We got to get out of fight mode. We have to.
Do you still do your show, Felicia?
Actually, I have a new show. So I have shifted, and that was one of the slides I had for my credits. I'm shifting into advocacy with art. So I do have Females Without Fear to Face Art. And Dr. Deb was one of my Females Without Fear guests. Hi, Candy. One of my Females Without Fear guests back in the day. But now I to take a softer approach, because my stuff is heavy. My stuff is so heavy. So I lightened up a bit and said, let's just do art. So I have been doing amazing work in the art. Yes, to answer your question, I'm looking for artists, anybody in the arts realm who wants to be on Roku, fire. And we're heading out to Apple TV. I want to talk to you. I want to interview you and find out how art is making a difference in your life. And you can send people to me because I need guests.
Oh, I'm going to send you one, because my daughter's book came out, but the artist was a foster youth, and she wants to make a coloring book for adults with trauma. So I was like, yes.
I self-published my own coloring book for adults,
Yeah.
with my healing wrap. So I'm doing amazing work. I'm just coming off of a solo exhibit in North Carolina, and I'm heading to the Buffalo Soldiers National Museum. Has asked for a piece to go on exhibit there from now until October. So I'm in huge places, and I'm just so grateful because Dr. Deb took an investment in me and said, I want her to speak. I want her to come out here. I want to be on her show. And I was nobody. I'm still nobody, but I was determined to make a difference and lead.
I mean, you're somebody, and you're somebody to me
somebody.
all the time. Oh
I
my
like to-
God.
I like to sneak up on people. You're like, aren't you? And I'm like, shh, don't tell anybody. That way I get to, just mosey around the world and take everything in. And then, when someone recognizes me, I'm like, oh, don't tell anybody.
Always a joy.
Yes, it's all good. So please go change the world. People, like I said, I have survived everything. The worst of it was through cyber. I'm passionate. I mean, to the point where I will make you delirious about being cyber aware. We have to change the world. And just remember that I, Felicia Reed, dubbed you as a leader, and don't let anybody take that away from you. No one. Any other questions?
No, but Scott, we had to change because Shira is going to go into the breakout room with Felicia because I have to run this panel. Duh. And so I made a mistake.
All righty. So I just hit breakout room and go there and go hang out.
I just want to verify that you are somebody.
Hi, Bill. What a surprise. Hi.
Hi. It's great to see you.
Oh, yes. Great. Oh, gosh, the gang's all here. Oh, my gosh. Yes. I was one of Bill Murray's trauma-informed coaches on his NASCA podcast, and I'm still highly connected. I just had the thought today, maybe I'm going to return. I don't know. I've been on a rest break from that, but I love this guy. Phenomenal work he's doing.
Well, you're always welcome, as is, there's any number of people here at Script that we would love to have engaged with NASCA, whether they're a guest on the show, on the radio show, or a member of the Facebook group or whatever. There's many, many things to do.
Yep.
Felicia and Dr. Deb can both speak to this because they've both been heavily involved with NASCA in the past. So you're always welcome back.
Okay, I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Head into the breakout room. Thank you everyone for having me, and much love to the entire tribe.